Today we're going to be looking at several aspects of Charlemagne, the man and his actions throughout his lifetime, focusing not on the religious, which we've kind of dealt with last time, but looking at the broader picture of Charlemagne. Now, cannot go without saying that Charlemagne was an incredibly religious man. Religion was very important to Charlemagne, and it drove many aspects of his life. This being his personal life and his life as a ruler, as a king and as an emperor. He was a religious man, driven by religious principles, looking out for the protection and the expansion of Christianity throughout his reign. That cannot go unstated. But he did a lot that was not tied to religion. Most notably, he is very well known for his military conquests, his military campaigns, and the expansion of the Frankish Empire. On this map here, we can see in the darker shades what his kingdom looked like when he began. All right? These darker shades are how he began. And then you see these lighter colors out here, notably Saxony up here in the north, and the Lombard kingdom down in the south, as well as Bavaria, which we've discussed in class, and a few other spots were part of Charlemagne's conquests and the expansion of his empire, the Carolingian Empire, during his reign. He's also noted for a number of scholarly accomplishments. We talked a little bit about this before. I just want to reiterate it now. He is responsible for the growth and expansion of monasteries, which was not just a religious expansion, it was an expansion of learning. He believed that these Benedictine monasteries, following the Benedictine rule, the rule of Benedict, helped to educate not just religious leaders, but also non-religious leaders. Anytime you were gathering knowledge together in one place, having a bunch of educated people studying it, coming up with new ideas, this was going to be good for everybody. And Charlemagne wholeheartedly believed that education was the key to success, and indeed it was in his empire. He had some of the most educated government leaders in his empire in all of Europe. And because they were educated, they were able to make good quality decisions that led to the strength and wealth of the empire. He was also an economist. This would be one of those decisions that came out of this education, that Charlemagne was able to recognize fundamental changes in the economy and make some much needed adjustments to the Frankish economy. Most notably, he abandoned gold currency. It used to be on a gold standard. Everything was measured against gold. But the problem was that his empire had very little natural sources of gold. So anytime they were spending gold, purchasing things from other parts of the world, they were losing that and not gaining any gold back. And pretty soon, gold became a difficult thing for the government to control. Silver, on the other hand, wasn't. They had lots of silver, so they could mine more of it and have large government projects which would build this kind of income for the Franks. This helps to stabilize the economy, and that's just good for everybody. When you have a stable currency, when you know what the value of something is and you know what your tax revenue is going to be, it's good for the economy, it's good for business, it's good for individuals. In addition to this, with a better economy and better balance and better knowledge of what to expect, Charlemagne was able to then improve the recording of income and expenses for the empire. If they knew what was coming in, they knew what they could spend, and they could keep better track of that and plan for the future. And that was, of course, really important for this expanding empire. Finally, a large contribution, which is easy to brush past, but was very important, was in writing. Now, Charlemagne himself was not much of a writer. He did try to write. He did try to learn the art of writing, but it was very forced for him. He was not trained to read and write at a very young age. So when he got older and he was, he got better at reading, but his writing was still rather weak. But under his direction, he recognized the importance of quality writing. And a new font of the day was created, Carolingian minuscule. This was the standardized script of the day. This was how you were to write. At the time, scribes and monks at different monasteries wanted to make a name for themselves for their beautiful, illustrious handwriting. And a lot of it looked very artistic. It was very pretty, but it took a long time. And these pages and pages of documents were like individual pieces of artwork. They're gorgeous if you look at some of them, but they take a really long time to do that. And Charlemagne wanted to expand this knowledge and get this knowledge out there as much as possible. And it would take a full day to do 4 pages of copies. He was able to cut that time in half by creating a standard script. So all of a sudden, monasteries are creating books twice as fast. Monks are writing letters twice as fast. Knowledge is being expanded and created nearly twice as fast because of his insistence on the use of this script, which you can see right here. It's not too far off from what we might expect to find on a computer today. It's a very straightforward, simple to read, simple to write language that really helped the expanse of books. So this is kind of a quick sampling in a lot of different areas that Charlemagne was involved. Some of this directly, some of this simply happens around him and with his influence and encouragement. Charlemagne obviously did not create the script, but was able to help in the identification process and then standardizing that across the empire. So that's a lot of the administrative stuff that Charlemagne did that helped make his empire successful. Some of it is fun and exciting, military conquest. Some of it is writing, which is maybe not the most fun and exciting, and I get that, but also very important to history. So that was Charlemagne in some broad strokes. I hope you found this informative, and I will see you next time.